Part 3 of our Wrong Turn 2003
in-depth discussion review. Alright, so
break down the scenes as they happen and our thoughts on the death scenes and the loopholes, Nate Dunning
and the plot holes and the buttholes. Alright, let's see here. So we left off where they're all inside the freaking tower.
The infamous tower scene.
So they found the radio, they're asking for blah blah. But
then they light the glow sticks, which just alerts the mutants.
The mutants show up in the woods, like, oh, there they are. So they start climbing up. And then freaking
with torches lit.
And then rich boy doctor with like his messed up leg overturns like a freaking like.
No, it's like total filler for a second, and it shows him in the freaking house.
He overturns like a freaking fridge or something and puts it over like the top part so the freaking mutant can't get in. And he's got like his hand coming through, but they like smash it.
And
off.
they sit down, they're like, looks like they're gonna leave us alone. And then the
mutants like set the place on fire.
Like I didn't see that coming. They only came with freaking lit torches, like it's an Indiana Jones movie.
I didn't see that in the transcript. Alright, let's see.
Like no one saw that coming. So then they're like, they're gonna smoke us out. Like it's the negotiator or something.
Like it's freaking
And he's just like, I'd rather not burn to death than da-da-da.
Like it's Homeward
I'd rather
Bound.
jump than not burn to death. Oh, then it's badass, because then they jump on the pine trees because they're deep in the West Virginia forest, which is actually Canada, like we were saying.
The doctor with the freaking jacked up legs, like, no, she's right, we can make it.
So he's the first one to go.
He's the one to first go.
Leg that just got shot less than an hour
And he
ago.
lands halfway through the Georgia pine. And then the chick jumps, she makes it, they all make it in the tree. And then freaking one of the mutants, but they don't know where the mutants are, even though they're underneath them with like freaking torches and everything, so you'd be able to see them easy. But they don't see them, so it's kind of retarded. It's like a plot hole. It's like Nate Dunning's butthole. Alright, let's see.
But they're like totally up in the air, and the trees are kind of thick though. So I don't know, it might be because it's a total forest. But it's pretty tight when they get onto the trees and they start walking through them. I don't even know if it's got to be like a total setup thing, but it looks pretty tight how they're going to the trees.
It looks pretty tight. But anyway, so then one of the mutant like freaking deformities makes it all the way up there out of nowhere, and the chick's like back against the tree, you know, and then it's like a total like sweet shot with like the pupil and the axe.
It shows the actors jumping onto the tree. I forgot to mention this, and then you could tell they're totally jumping on a mat that's only like 2 feet off the ground. So then they cut, and then they cut to a stunt person jumping onto the tree. So then they're going through the trees.
They're like
it's
stunt
badass.
double, alright, stunt double, alright.
Okay, so let's just get to it. They kill the bitch from Not Another
Tina. No.
I mean, don't mess with the effing Zohan. Adam Sandler.
Anyway, so it's the axe to the dome right there, and it shows her pupil in the eye like change, like, you know, diameter of the pupil,
it's
like
pretty
goes out,
tight.
like, you know, like the life is leaving her body. It's pretty tight.
I never look at anyone in the eyes, but that part.
Your life is leaving your body.
The kill was pretty
for
tight.
Drinking too much Bacardi.
You should have known when you started. Never fuck with Gigi.
All right, let's see here. So then it cuts to so she's dead. She falls out of the tree, and then let's see here.
Then he's like, let's bend a tree branch and set him up.
Oh yeah, they bend a tree branch and set him up, like, you know, like
pulls it back, and it's like a rubber branch.
Like there's so much room to walk around in a Georgia pine. Like it's just like another room, you know. Hey, go over here. Let's bend this tree branch.
He's like, set him up. And she's like, hey, motherfucker, I'm over here. And like the mutants wouldn't notice that it was a total setup. You think they'd have enough inbred brains to put 2 and 2 together at this point?
So then they freaking let go and knock him down. He's dead. But they
There's
make you think
3 mutants.
They make you think he's dead, but I guess he's still alive because he shows up later on in the film.
And then it does the old cut scene, and it's just like, we got away from them, even though they're in the trees, only like 20 feet away from them. And then it like cuts to them like a total different location, probably like 100 miles away, next to a waterfall. Like it's the Incredible Hulk 08 scene where they sleep under the waterfall.
So they show up to a waterfall like it's freaking Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, some bullshit. Actually, Metal Gear Solid was pretty tight.
So
But
then they
anyways.
sleep over there night.
So then they sleep over there overnight, like.
Oh no, then it cuts to an emotional scene. She's like, my boyfriend broke up with me last week.
My
And
boyfriend.
so my friends just
they
set up
invited
this
me.
trip.
They invited me to go camping, and we're just gonna have a good time, you know. They're gonna get my mind off this, and he's like, I'm sorry to hear that.
He's like, there's nothing you can do about it. And you're like, man, like we haven't heard these fucking
He's like, I'm sorry to
cliche
hear
Hollywood
that.
lines.
He's like, hey, I lost my reading glasses. Alright, let's see.
I can't even see where I'm at my notes in this fucking movie.
So, the other mutant shows up.
And he's like, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Like, I haven't heard that line before. So then they finally see a road, and a cop just happens to be driving by.
Oh yeah, and he runs out there, and he's like, sir, sheriff.
No, before they get there, the
No.
mutants catch up to him with a bow and arrow and start shooting at him.
Yeah, so Sheriff Hoyt shows
So then out
up.
of nowhere, they take Alicia douchebag, but they don't even really show it that clearly, but they capture her. And he goes running onto the freaking street to get, and it's like Sheriff Hoyt, you think. Like he's part
And
of
he's
the
like,
mut-
who's killing who?
And then out of nowhere, he gets shot right in
Oh
the
yeah,
freaking
no,
eye.
yeah. He's like, who's getting killed? And then he gets shot right in the eye right there after he says that, and it's a pretty tight shot. And you're
It's
like,
badass.
and you're like, oh,
It's like the perfect weapon to choose for those
a
mutants.
bow and arrow, like he's freaking Jason from the freaking remake. All right, let's see here. What inbreds? That's all they know how to. That's all they know how to work with is bow and arrows.
And then he makes it up to the cop. He's like, people are dead. Yeah. The cop gets shot in the eye.
So he's dead.
This is a setup going to the end scene. So the mutant takes the freaking cop car, goes to kill the medical student guy, which is like which is like Jack Bass. And the guy who plays Jack Bass and then he hides underneath the freaking cop car to hitch a ride to
Yeah.
save Alicia
No,
douchebag.
he gets shot in the eye of the cop, and the mutant's starting to walk up. So then the freaking doctor like gets out and hides.
Yeah, we
underneath
were
the car.
saying. So then he hitches a ride back to the original cabin house that they
Underneath
went
the car, like he like holds it up like.
Like
he's
what is
freaking-
this? Speed Keanu Reeves,
No, he holds up underneath the
1995.
car like he's freaking secret agent man, and you're like, wow, what the. All right.
Then it's Alicia douchebag getting tortured at the original house.
Oh yeah, so the other mutant somehow out of nowhere already has her there, like already gagged and bagged like a bitch.
Like they only gag and bag the bitches, of course,
Let's see.
in a movie.
So they show up. It's like the total final set.
And he's out there, and then he sets the place on fire. The medical student, the main guy.
Back
And then,
at the
and then
house.
this is the first time where they start showing the mutant's face and close-ups of their freaking prop makeup and shit.
And
And
it
then
looks pretty
you
cool.
see him, and it's like a total Japanese guy. It's like Ken Watanabe, like from all the Chris Nolan movies.
No, it's Sunaka Munanachi.
And you're like, what the fuck?
And you're like, I think I know him from.
And you're like,
and you're
yeah, an inbred Japanese guy.
And you're like, wait a second, I don't know him because I hate anime. Alright, let's see.
And he gets killed. He's the first one to. They show him getting killed. The guy comes in there and like whoops his ass, I guess. Even though Ken Watanabe had home field
No,
advantage.
remember he gets the gun. Freaking the doctor gets the gun. She's like, and he's like, there's only one bullet. We gotta make it count.
No, that's not even close, you idiot. It goes through the whole action scene
Oh yeah,
inside.
go on.
And then he kills like all the mutants. One gets killed by a bow and arrow by Alicia douchebag.
Oh yeah, she's like, hey, here you go.
And then an axe to the third one's back. And they're
Right
like,
to his
hey,
dome.
we took him out. All in this ending scene.
And then it's like they freaking like had a
And then they
gas.
get outside and he's just like, I only got one shot left. And you're
And then you're like-
I haven't heard that in every
he's
single
like-
Western from
And
1950
it's like he
to...
planned like the natural
1978.
gas. It's like he planned the natural gas to be going off, and he's like, all right, and he shoots in there, and the whole place blows up like a total set.
Oh,
Like they had enough money.
That is such a total
They had
ending
enough
of the movie.
They had enough money, like, all right, let's have the place blow up.
I'm surprised. This movie had like $18 million budget, which is like twice the amount of Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. How that makes any sense?
Which makes you think how many more grips they had to pay for that explosion.
Probably because of the gay explosion. And all those cars that they had to rent and shit.
Oh yeah, no, that was probably all the grips cars. Anyways. So then, no, and then it goes back to like the freaking, the tower scene, and like 5 cops pull up to the tower, and then but 1 cop gets out. There's 5 cop cars, all with their lights on. And then 1 cop gets out.
No, so then they drive the yellow tow truck away to the store.
Oh yeah.
Back to the original store from the opening scene.
And he just gets out with his blown up leg, and he just goes up to the map and rips it off the wall.
It's hilarious.
That's like the only second like funny part of the whole movie, and then he gets.
Oh
in the
no,
car.
this is the total ending. They get away, grab the maps. They're like, man, we're not gonna get lost anymore. All the characters have no sense of direction, even though sense of direction is like the easiest freaking natural.
Well, sense of direction is like
unless
easy.
you're retarded.
Well, it's easy if you're playing Sonic. You know, you start from the left and go to the right. All right. So
shout out to Eric Vierthaler for that one.
All right,
Sonic and
shout out
Knuckles.
to Eric Vierthaler. He loves Sonic and Knuckles.
Out of nowhere.
Hold up, it's Eric Vierthaler 92 because he was born in 92.
No, so then they grab the map, and the last shot we see, they look at each other after he grabs the map and he gets back in, and it's total dome shots, and they nod at each other. It's like the gayest ending
They nod
ever.
at each
and they
other like,
drive
hey.
back off onto the main road.
Like, hey, we made it.
Hey, we got the old ass map. We know how to make it back.
Hey, we got the map off the freaking old ass, hick ass Hearst house.
And then it just rolls the credits. And
Oh yeah,
for like
it cuts
2
the
seconds.
credits out of nowhere.
And then it goes back to the cop. A cop.
Oh yeah, it cuts the credits for 2 seconds and then it cuts back to the cop. Like the movie's
Usually
still
they
going.
should do it like after the whole credits, which is what they usually do.
Yeah,
but for this one, they just did credits for 2 seconds, like
They're
the
like-
unit production manager.
Okay, what? You
shit.
just do it. Fake them out, you know, credits. Oh, no
so
credits.
then a cop shows up at the house and it's burning. It's already done, flamed out. And then the mutant, one of the mutants comes with an axe and freaking is like, oh, and like
Oh, yeah.
kills them. And
Comes
then
out
it
of
rolls the
nowhere.
credits again and it's like, keep rolling, 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 rolling.
Oh,
A
yeah.
total rock
No,
song.
it cuts to freaking Breaking Benjamin. And
They're
you're
like,
like,
most of our freaking audiences likes rock, so to
You're
please
like,
the audience,
yeah,
60%
they
of them-
stereotype freaking horror fans, and they're like, yeah, so at the end just play a rock music, because horror and rock goes
Even though
together.
in 03 hip hop owned the charts and shit.
Even though in 03 all the way to 06 hip hop was running this shit.
Crunk, Lil Jon,
Crunk, Lil Jon, Yin Yang Twins,
R. Kelly, Cassidy,
Rockefeller,
50.
50 Eminem, the old Eminem, not that
Alright,
new
our final
Eminem bullshit.
thoughts. We got a minute
Alright,
and
final
30 seconds to
thoughts.
sum this up, and then I
Let's
got a
sum
few
it up.
shout outs of our subscribers.
Alright, what did I think? I think
8 out of 10 when we first saw it in 04, we were like freaking
I'll
loved
give it a
for
7.
while.
The only reason why it's good is for the kills
And all the scenery, perfect
and for the scenery. That's the only thing I like about it. I mean, you can't really
I thought the kills were better.
you can't
than
really
they were,
fall in
but-
love with these characters because it's like, total like script characters.
Alright, we got a minute. There's some people, some of our subscribers that I've checked out their channel. Haven't seen all their videos
Shout out
yet.
time.
Anti-Slasher. You gotta check these guys out. The Collector Fan. Smackin' Jack. Urban X 4201.
Horror Nights 1.
He shows all the death scenes from a bunch of horror reviews.
Goblin
and stuff.
Fan 2007.
69 Fever. Hyperflex Harrington 95.
Eric Buthaler 92.
Everyone knows him. of
Everybody
course.
knows him.
He's a nice guy.
He's got a bull-headed haircut. Alright, go on.
Suspensors.
And 90s chains.
Suspensors. This guy was like our first sub. The October Spirit. And if you didn't give a shout out, hit us up. We'll shout us out on your next review.
Also,
Deformed Monster Hero is another one.
look forward to more horror reviews that we'll be doing in the future.